In Alien Romulus, we see Big Chap hanging ominously from the ceiling. But how was the OG Xeno finally killed? Well, all will be revealed in this breakdown of the original Xenomorph's ultimate demise. Big Chap, the terrifying alien introduced in Ridley Scott's 1979 Alien, met what many assumed was its end, when Ellen Ripley ejected it into space. However, Romulus reveals that the creature didn't die that day. Instead, it survived, cocooned in the wreckage of the Nostromo for decades, drifting through the vastness of space until it was discovered by a Weyland-Yutani salvage team. This discovery sets off a chain of events that ultimately leads to Big Chap's final, gruesome death aboard the Romulus space station. The salvage team, unaware of the deadly consequences, retrieves the cocooned xenomorph from the wreckage of the Nostromo, which had been floating in space since its destruction. The creature had entered a state of hibernation, a newly introduced trait in the alien lore, allowing it to survive the vacuum of space by cocooning itself within the debris. This hibernation kept Big Chap dormant, preserving it for future chaos. Once brought aboard the Weyland-Yutani station, the cocoon is analyzed, and eventually, the xenomorph awakens. It quickly escapes containment, unleashing terror on the station's crew, just as it had done decades earlier aboard the Nostromo. As Big Chap regains its strength, it begins to stalk and kill the crew members of the Romulus station, with the same lethal precision and stealth it had used before. However, this version of Big Chap seems even more menacing than the one Ripley encountered. Having endured decades of isolation and survival in the harshest conditions imaginable, the creature remains silent and cunning, hiding in the shadows and using its environment to its advantage, just like in the original film. After several crew members are killed, the remaining survivors, led by the android Rook, realize that their only hope of survival is to trap the xenomorph and eliminate it. Conventional weapons prove ineffective, given the creature's acid blood and resilience, so they devise a plan to use the station's cryo chamber to their advantage. The Romulus space station contains a massive cryo chamber used for storing and transporting sensitive materials. The crew, guided by Rook's knowledge of the station's systems, prepares to lure Big Chap into the chamber, hoping to exploit the extreme environmental conditions to their benefit. Rook explains that while the xenomorph is an apex predator, it can still be affected by severe temperature changes, especially rapid fluctuations between extreme heat and cold. Big Chap takes the bait and enters the cryo chamber. At first, the xenomorph moves effortlessly through the industrial space, but as the temperature begins to rise, the creature shows signs of distress. The crew manages to trap the xenomorph inside the chamber, sealing off its exit and initiating the next phase of their plan. With Big Chap contained, the crew quickly lowers the temperature, subjecting the creature to freezing conditions. The rapid drop in temperature causes the xenomorph's exoskeleton to crack and splinter, and its movements become slower and more labored.
Oh my God. I've never seen anything like it. Doctor, what is it, Doctor?
I'm fine. Get the T-shirt.
Realizing they have the upper hand, the crew activates a blast of cryogas, instantly freezing everything inside the chamber, including Big Chap. The xenomorph is now immobilized, encased in ice, seemingly defeated. However, even frozen, Big Chap proves to be a formidable adversary. The xenomorph's acidic blood, still active, starts to eat away at its icy prison. Big Chap's body begins to twitch and splinter, showing signs of life as it tries to break free. Recognizing that the creature is not yet fully dead, Rook initiates an emergency decompression of the cryo chamber. The chamber is quickly depressurized, venting all air and oxygen into the vacuum of space. The acidic blood, which had once been its greatest defense, begins to boil away in the vacuum of space. Piece by piece, the creature's body shatters and implodes. Big Chap, the original xenomorph that had terrorized the Nostromo and survived the unforgiving vacuum of space, is finally dead. Its last, desperate attempt to escape is thwarted by the decompression of the cryo chamber, reducing the once perfect predator to little more than shattered remnants. The crew watches as the creature that had terrorized them is obliterated, finally putting an end to the nightmare. With Big Chap's death, the crew of the Romulus station is left to deal with the aftermath. While the creature is no longer a threat, the damage it caused to the station is immense, and the losses suffered are devastating. Rook, the station's android, is damaged beyond repair, and the station itself is on the verge of collapse. But the most chilling aspect of Big Chap's death is what remains: Weyland-Yutani's data. The company had been studying the xenomorph all along, and the information gathered from the creature's body, its hibernation state, and its resilience will likely be used in future experiments. Big Chap may be dead, but the knowledge gained from its survival and destruction ensures that the threat of the xenomorphs will continue. In Romulus, Big Chap's death is a fitting, albeit gruesome, conclusion to the creature's story. After surviving decades in space, cocooned in the debris of the Nostromo, the xenomorph is brought back aboard a Weyland-Yutani station, where it once again wreaks havoc. However, through a combination of careful planning, environmental manipulation, and the use of the station's cryochamber, the crew is able to weaken the creature and kill it. Big Chap, the iconic xenomorph that began it all, is finally laid to rest. So what do you make of this explanation? Please leave a comment below. Also, check out the I'm Fine t-shirt in our store, the perfect gift for sci-fi fans. Until next time, stay frosty and alert.